Somebody on the webinar is saying the mic's open.
Okay, want to welcome everybody to our micro moment / compound stock earnings podcast. Go to our website, www.micromomenttrading.com, and you can check out all the things we offer, all the things that you see Randy on here, the traditional covered call stuff. He's got a lot of adaptations to micro moment, just like longer terms, and that's him with the hat and the glasses. And both of them have glasses on. So, guys, the one with the white beard, the older one. And check out, sign up for the free Cow Report. It comes out every Friday, mid-afternoon. It's been published now for over 20 years. And it's free. Who that was?
Hello.
My line of thought, yeah. For over 20 years. And it's got all kinds of hundreds of emails in there from our clients asking questions and these guys answering those questions. And today, be sure and type in any questions.
Noon, I won't be able to make noon. I have a webinar that ends at 1 o'clock.
You're unmuted, Mike, Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Okay.
Okay. Well, he's through now.
All right.
Nothing like being informal
Thank
here.
you. Bye.
Hey, Randy. Well, yeah, we listened to your phone calls there. Yeah. We're still.
Oh, sorry.
Tim's going to be here in a few moments. And did y'all do any more trades after we left, Micah?
No, we got through a bunch of questions though. Tim did a little demonstration of TradeStation or Thinkorswim.
Yeah.
And it went really well. We answered a lot of questions and they did. So no extra trades. So
here's Tim now with his suspicious eyes. Looking already, he looks suspicious.
Yeah. Hey guys.
We started up a minute or so ago, Tim. So you're pretty good on time here.
Okay, good. Guys, I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes. I apologize.
Okay.
Have a doctor's appointment with my wife that I, of course, forgot about. She just reminded me.
Okay, no problem. So the micro moment returns. They had a second session yesterday and came out just a fraction below 10%. And today, I'm telling you, they just blew it out the windows today. They did full trade 22.43% on that morning session this afternoon or this morning. Mike did a SPY and the rest of them were Qs. One of the Qs was 15.82%. And probably how long were you in that? About 15 or 20 seconds?
Yeah, they're about. We just caught a nice ride up, caught a spurt, and when we got off, Micah did a great explanation of why what happened, which was why I got a fill that was 4 to 6 cents below the bid.
Okay.
And I love the way you do that explanation.
Which one?
It's great.
Good. I just draw on the chart.
Yeah.
And just write bid and ask and explain what's happening with filling. Because it all happens so fast, it's hard to communicate. Like you really got to slow the process down to communicate what happens with options and the bid ask. Why they change because it happens so rapidly. It's really hard to understand just the sheer magnitude of what's going on in that moment. So you really got to slow it way down to understand it in order to trade it. So
for the people that are tuned into this podcast today, don't forget you can type in any questions, and they probably will pop up there. Everybody will see questions, and everybody will hear the answers. And I don't see any live comments at the moment. Marcus, is something that you have to flip a switch on to get the live comments to come up there? So.
No, they're live. So
he's not coming in real clear, is he? Hold on a sec. Let me open it.
Yeah, he said we're live, Joe. We're good.
Oh, okay, good.
We're just having
yeah. So we got two primary techniques here: micro moment trading, which are option transactions that these guys do, Micah and Tim. They're in transactions for maybe 15 to 20 seconds, and then through that, got all the money back. Never leave anything for more than a minute or so in there. always get all the money back. And at the end of the, when the market closes, they're sitting there flush with all the cash. And the next day they're going to spend another hour in the morning and sometimes an hour in the afternoon, depending on what's going on. We call that a second session. And that's what they had yesterday. Sometimes when the morning sessions are really slow, there won't be a second session, just kind of how it works. But yesterday was a good second session. And then this morning, the market was just crazy, just absolutely insane. And you only do these micro moment trades for like maybe an hour a day. We don't recommend you spend any more time than that because they move real fast and you get all caught up into it and you can make mistakes. So you're just in and out of those deals, and they're absolutely incredible leverage because you're dealing with options. You're not using any margin. Never ever use margin on those micro moment trades. It'll kill you, and you only get 50% if you use margin.
I want to clarify something too. When Joe says that, we had a couple questions about it the other day, Joe. When Joe says that, he says don't use margin. You can have a margin account and operate on that. That's fine. He just doesn't. He means don't use the money.
Yeah, don't use it. Yeah, because you've got 90-something% leverage because it's an option. Instead of paying $50 for a stock and borrowing half of it from your broker, you're only maybe paying $2.50 or something like that, or $1.50 or whatever for the option. And Frank has a question on here. Frank says, in the toolbox charts, can you tell what CSM2 stands for? Something to do with credit spreads?
Yeah, that's Keith's thing.
That's a Keith deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Keith's not here, so we're going to defer that. But it's I didn't even look at that for so long on the
Yeah, it's the credit spread.
credit spread.
Yeah.
And Keith's still with us. Yeah, Keith's still with us, and he's here every now and then. He's been with us about 15, 16 years. He's not actively doing credit spreads now. He's developing another technique that's sort of related to our micro moment trading, sort of like Randy there has so many techniques he does with the more traditional covered calls, and he's kind of adapted some of those to micro moment trading. Randy, let's start off with you. So what's your returns for this week, and how's it going?
Going good.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm going to have to say goodbye for now.
Okay.
And, maybe back later.
Okay.
But take it away, Randy.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was looking away because Tim's chart setup just happened, and I missed getting into that put. But micro moment trading, I do micro moment trading. I basically do all the different techniques that we've taught over the years. At some time during the week, I'm in each type of thing. But every day I do some micro moment trading on SPX. So far today I'm up 7.3% on my SPX micro moment trading. Now I'm not in and out of them in 15 seconds like Tim and Micah are. Mine lasts more like a minute and a half to 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
But in addition to doing that, which Tim and Micah teach that. So if you want to learn about micro moment trading, you're going to listen to Tim and Micah. But I also teach momentum trading, which is a little bit longer term trading using our advanced charts, which is proprietary to micro moment trading as well. And I teach a 1 to 1.5 hour training seminar every Monday morning where we look through the charts, and the charts are set up with 21 different technical indicators all kind of rolled into one big chart. And we teach you the easy way to learn and understand it to identify the beginning of rising cycles. So we're just looking through all the different charts, identifying rising cycles, and then buying a call, and then getting out of that call for my goal is 5%. It usually takes about 1 or 2 days. So we did Coca-Cola, and we're in and out of that at 4.8% return for 1 day. Now, in addition to that momentum trading with advanced charts, I also teach, as Joe has mentioned, the covered call techniques. Our platinum service has a 2-hour teaching webinar every Wednesday morning live in the market. And then these webinars are recorded while we're doing them, so you can watch them later on. If you're not available to be there while they're being presented live, you can watch it later, or you can just rewatch it to kind of digest all of the training that is presented during that time. And in that webinar, I teach techniques that I then show and demonstrate how to do them with my own positions. And so I track those along. And last week, the positions that were closed out on Friday was Moderna, 3.1%. Now, I was in that one for 10 days. Typically, in the positions in and out in less than a week, that means all capital return plus the income locked in. And as Joe will mention, with the covered call technique, we have what we call management techniques. We enter in the money covered calls. That means buying the long position and selling a short call above it, but both of them are in the money, meaning that they're lower than the price of the stock at that time. That increases the probability that we're going to be called out. And the goal is to always be called out. Now, if you listen to the guys on TV, they kind of choke on being called out because they think you lose money when you get called out because you're leaving money on the table because it could have gone to $1 million and you could have been a billionaire. On the other hand, it could go to zero, and they don't talk about that. So we do in the money cover calls to increase the probability we'll be called out. We want to get all of our money back as quick as possible and lock in the returns so we can use the money again. And thus the word compound is use the same money over and over and over again. So if the stock goes up, we get called out. If it goes sideways, we get called out. If it goes down some, we get called out. If it goes down more than some, then we have management techniques that we continue to generate income week after week after week until we do get called out to get all of our capital back. And that what happened to Moderna. Actually was in that one for 10 days. It spanned over a 2-week time frame, and it declined. It went from $70 down to about $52 or $53, but I still got out for a profit and all my capital returned because of the management techniques. Alibaba 5.0% for 1 week. Merck 26.5% return for 1 week. XPI 11.1% return for 4 days. Now these are actual cash returns. These aren't paper like value. It increased by this much value. These are close the position, get all the capital back, and have the cash returned. Apple 6.3% for 2 days. Amazon 6.3% for 1 day, and the QQQ, which is an ETF of the NASDAQ 100, and that was actually 85.1% return for 2 days. And so all of the positions that I entered for last week were all closed out. None of them were managed into this week. So I kind of started from scratch, or not from scratch, but started from cash again this week to enter a few new positions. So those are all detailed. You get to see step by step every single one as they happen, and that's how you learn. And you learn by paper trading. So virtual trade while you're learning. You can watch it step by step. Virtual trade, you're not risking any money, and then you're learning the process, and then you can master it, and you can use it for the rest of your life. And that's the major part. Is these are income generation techniques, processes that you use week after week after week to generate your income.
And the thing is, when he goes into a position, he just wants to make sure it's a good company. It's not going to go out of business. And we have in our toolbox that selects those kind of companies of all the thousands of companies that are out there. That picks the best to the not necessarily the best, but a lower return, and still a good companies. They also meet the same requirements. Randy, when you subscribe to his service, actually does these trades, real money in his own account, and has been doing it 15, 16 years. And it's just a fantastic way not to speculate in the market, but to consistently to make money. And he really doesn't care. He would prefer that every time he gets in a position, he goes up and gets called out. Then he doesn't have to do any work, doesn't have to do any management. But that doesn't always happen. Like he said, he had this one that went down, still got out of it for a profit. But if he didn't get out of it, sometimes people don't want to get out of a position, and they can sit there and make incredible amounts of money on it every day or every month while it's gyrating around. So it's just the best way. If you like stocks and you don't like to sell them, don't like to speculate, it's a fantastic way, particularly if you have stocks that are yielding you a dividend. It's just, just makes your dividend look puny compared to what you're making on a daily basis with this technique. And he's been doing it, like I say, for a long, long time. And when you subscribe to it, he preps you. He's getting ready to do this trade, and you get a fast email on that, and then he lets you know when he does the trade and what he did it for price wise, and then he says, I'm getting ready to get out, and then when he creates a position, I'm getting ready to create this position. Or let's say the stock has done something, he's going to do a management move. He tells you in advance. You sit there and listen, and you can just make incredible amounts of money. Now over on Tim and Micah's, totally different. Their seminar lasts an hour from 8:30 to 9:30 Central Time each morning, Monday through Friday. And they do, like today, 22.43% this morning, what we call a morning session. And yesterday they had an afternoon session, did about 10% for that session. Their trades, when you subscribe to their service, you're sitting there watching them, not watching like here, but you're in a seminar there. And you see their trading screen, which is proprietary trading screen, costs us lots and lots of money. It's telling you when to get in and when to get out of their positions, but they're doing it, and they're doing it with real money in the accounts, and they're doing those trades. And you sit there and you learn. We're educational services here, and you learn how to make those trades. You learn to read that chart, and you pretty soon pick a favorite stock like QQQ or it's index, Apple, something that's big, going to hang around. You're not worried about the quality of it because it ain't going to make any difference because you're not going to be in it but a few seconds a day, and you can just make a huge return. We're in the 47th week since I became a subscription service, and it's averaged about 97% a week overall this week's on average, and super good service. And these guys are good. Mike is good, and Tim's good. And but you're learning to do it yourself. You don't have to keep doing it forever. When you right? And we have a great chat room type situation on the GoToWebinar meeting that we're using, and people are constantly sending us what their returns are. What their returns are like today, just incredible returns. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster. But today was an incredible return day for all our clients. And then on Friday, which is tomorrow, it's what we call Happy Friday or something. We open up the phone lines, and so you can actually talk to Micah, you can talk to Tim, talk to me, ask questions, do what you want to do, and it's really good. And that's every Friday. Roberto asked a question a while ago, and I'm going to read it now. Roberto says, "Hello, everybody. What type of internet connection are you all using to execute these quick trades?" Roberto, we don't use anything, except just a standard cable that comes into your house, internet cable, and standard modems and stuff. There's nothing that you wouldn't use if you weren't doing this at all. Is that pretty true there, Micah? Do you do anything different?
Yeah, you get like the best speed package, but you don't have to do anything special. Just whatever the top speeds are from your company is preferable. Yeah. But that's really all. I don't have any special service or cables, or I'm not fiber optic, nothing like that.
Yeah, Roberto, what's happened over the years? We've been doing this over 20 years, and what's happened over the years, like Randy, 16, 17, 18 years ago, there was only one expiration, and it was the third Friday of each month. And over all these years, the CBOE out of Chicago has never done anything, not one single thing that has run into any of our rules or anything. And the trading platforms have gotten so good. The trading platforms facilitate these fast trades. It's not any special computer. I mean, we got people using PCs. Myself, I'm using Apple, and they're just standard stuff. And you don't, the platforms are the ones that have gotten good. Now, all the platforms are good. You never see one of these online platforms having any kind of, they're all regulated just like all the Wall Street firms, same exact insurance, but you never hear about it one having any problems. Never. And so it's really, really just a super to be doing this today. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be a long time ago. When we first got started, I was using E-Trade, one of the few online brokers available 20 years ago. Commissions were astronomical. And at one point, they thought they were really getting modern, and they had a push button. You had to take your phone, your push buttons on the phone, and you enter and exit trade. It's total nightmare, total absolute nightmare. And you can also do trades. You can do these trades in a virtual platform. Virtually every trading platform has a virtual position where you can do trades. They give you about $80,000, $90,000 to start off with. It's just play money, but it works pretty much the same as doing a real trade. And you can learn and you can become an expert at it without ever risking a penny. That's the neat thing. You don't have to go out there. A long time ago, you did. They didn't have virtual trading platforms. When they first came out, they weren't any good. And we advised everybody not to use them because they were not good and you wouldn't learn anything. But now they're excellent. And so you never have to risk any money when you start doing this stuff.
I would say, Bob, if you have a way to get into Ethernet, an Ethernet connection is better, but you can do it from a laptop as well, just wireless. But if you do have a way to route directly to your modem, that would help too.
And here's a question from it's Randy. Randy, how are those trades alerted? And then also Mr. I think MMP here, whatever his first name is Randy. How are those trades? Well, that's the same thing. No. This is Randy, how are those trades alerted? So I think that's the question here.
Yeah.
Two different people, yeah.
The alerts that are sent out are via email. So as long as you have a decent email provider, they typically show up within 45 seconds of when I hit enter. So they come really fast. And with a covered call, it's not like Micah and Tim with Micro Moment, where by the time they could type something in, no matter how it got sent, the trade is over. With the covered call trades, they last 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. So if it's if it takes 40 seconds or 2 minutes, it's not that big of a deal. It's the construction of the position will typically still be there.
Yeah. Randy has all of these. The manual that's developed over all these 20 years. We got about 300 pages in it now. All these rules, they're just exactly what you do to keep making produce your, used to be 3 or 4 or 5% per month. Now you get that in a week because back it was those kind of returns back when there was just one expiration the third Friday. But now they've got virtually every Friday is the expiration date, and sometimes they've got another couple of expiration dates during the week. And so you have many more opportunities. Instead of making 5% per month, you can make 5% per week. Huge. And this is Richard, and this is a trade he just did. QQQ at open 240 call, I guess that is. Bought to open at 0.35 cents. Sold 26 minutes later at 50 cents. I think he means he bought. He's got bought to open at 0.35 field at 0.3.
Yeah. So
I think he put the order in at 35 cents, but he got filled at 31. So he actually got him improved by 4 cents.
Yeah, and then sold it 26 minutes later for 50 cents, which is a huge return. Now that is a huge return. And you say 50,
that's a 60% return in just a short time.
That's
and
amazing.
you say, well, wait a minute, you only get cents. We're not talking dollars here. Well, no, you're talking when you say you get 3 cents. These things are only costing you $1.50 most of the time, and so you get 50 cents. I mean, that is a huge return on your $1.50 or $1, or whatever it might be, investment. Huge,
I,
huge.
I do have to say on that one, if you want to bring it back up, Marcus, it's phenomenal trade and congratulations, but it is very outside the rules of micro moment by a lot. I just wanted to clarify, we never trade below 50 cents. We never, ever trade below 40. We never trade current day expiration, which that's where that trade was. I can tell. And then 26 minutes is 26 minutes longer than we're usually in a trade. So awesome trade, good work. But just remember, that's just, an individual trade idea you had. And yeah.
The reason you went for that long, one of two things was happening. Number one, you're speculating. You're hoping, for it to get up there. And obviously it did get up there and you got out. But you'd never, a minute is a long time. You should be out of a deal. On the micro moment on Micah and Tim's trading, unlike Randy that has a book 3 inches thick and weighs 45 pounds, they don't have a manual because there's only one rule. Once you get into that thing, if it turns red, in other words, you have a little slight loss in it, you get out. And they've got it down now. They can get out of a transaction for half a cent. A cent, nothing, and then you just turn around and go back. You may do the same trade again 5 minutes later. But when you see that red, you get out. That's the only rule. The rest of it is learn how to interpret the charts to tell you when to get in and when to get out of a deal. But Randy, it's just a different nature when you're dealing with the covered calls and leaps. It's a little different. He's got a lot of rules because a lot of times you don't want to get out. These ones that micro moment trading, you want out as quick as you can, man. If you can make 2 cents, wow, that's great. And I think like today, 22.43%. One trade huge. It just blew out the windows. 15.82%. Micah had a SPY for 5.34%. From $2.06 to $2.17. And then another one for 1.27, all those, and then one even transaction.
Yeah, and that trade was 17 seconds long. That 11 cents. So you don't have to, once you find those sweet spots, you don't have to be in them very long.
Yeah,
a pretty nice return.
Yeah, so you never want to wait that long, Richard. In fact, like yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, Tim was doing a transaction, and it went on, and he was kind of silent. And I reminded him, I said, you're getting in loss territory here. You're in that thing too. And he did. He ended up having a loss on it because he was speculating. It happens to everybody. The old habits come back. He was hoping it would change. He got into it. It didn't shoot up and get out immediately. So he was waiting and waiting. Needless to say, he hopes he's not going to do that anymore. But, okay, Richard. And we have Lee. Can you pull up Lee there? Okay, Lee. Where is the schedule for your training seminars? They're not posted on the site. Also, if I'm a returning client, how do I indicate that on my enrollment rather than posting a credit card? Would you put that back up there, please, Marcus? The schedules are all on those websites, www.micromomenttrade.com, and Compound Stock Earnings is still there also, www.compoundsstockearnings.com. And all the schedules are there, and all the details about, the Randy has the most trading seminars, and they are posted on the site. I don't know what site you talked about because they've been on there forever.
Do we not have any up due to COVID? Are we still postponed on all of our seminars?
I'm sorry. What did you say about COVID? What?
Yeah, it's possible we don't have any seminars listed because we can't gather in groups of people. So I know we don't have any micro moment seminars. We've had to postpone.
Well, we call those things that y'all do, and we really call it a seminar. We call it a session, but it could be a seminar. And certainly Randy's are called seminars. And so yeah, it's just the verbiage. But those are now what you maybe think about. And we haven't had in the micro moment. We've had one weekend where we had about 25 people come into Fort Worth, and we had a big cocktail party on Friday night and a big dinner on Saturday night. And Mike and Tim wasn't with us at that point, but the gentleman named Tony was with us, and he kind of got called up to duty. And anyhow, we had a great time. And now that was a seminar, 2-day seminar. We call that a seminar, and it wasn't online. Normally, the next time we do that, it's going to be in person. We were supposed to do it in March, and then all this stuff blew up with the virus. But the next time, it'll probably have 30, 40, 50 people spend the weekend in the hotel, wherever they want to spend the weekend. And it's a 2-day seminar, and it'll be online also. So you can attend online or you can attend in person. And they've always been that way. We've been doing them for 20 years that way. That was just the very first one we'd done for micro moment trading. And so the very first seminar that I think Mike had ever done.
Yeah.
And did a good job. So it's good.
Yeah, one thing, Joe, we don't want to confuse. The weekly webinars that we conduct are not the same as the seminars. So
Yes.
the weekly webinars is a subscription service. So it's not posted on the website of any dates and times. It's a subscription service. So if you want to subscribe to one of those services, you can get a hold of the office. The seminars, which Joe, you just held one 2 weeks ago for Cover Call, which is the 2-day over the weekend seminar, and that might be the one that Lee is referring to, because you pay for that one time and you reattend as often as you like with no additional charge.
We
And
actually
so,
had, Randy, we actually had that with people that had been with us, 7, 8 years, and they attended that thing. Yeah, but it's online.
Yeah, some back from 2006.
Yeah. And we've always done it online, and it was also done in person. Well, we can't do it in person right now, but we'd have 100, sometimes 150 people there for that 2-day seminar. And but we've always been doing it online. Now I've been doing the online ones for a number of sessions now. It's a 2-day seminar, but it's online. And this last one we did, we really livened it up a little bit. We had Randy on there, and normally it's just me, and we had Micah and Tim, and people loved it. They loved that seminar because these techniques can kind of blend in, and they were all three of them on there the whole weekend, and along with myself. And there should be another one scheduled. I asked Sue Ann to schedule another one in a couple of more months. I haven't looked to see if it's up there yet, but if not, it'll be up there in a day or two, and you can sign up for that now. If you've attended that seminar before, I don't know how many times or how long ago it was, you don't have to pay for that seminar. So, okay. Did I leave anything out of that, Randy?
No, that was good.
Okay. But again, on this micro moments thing, you don't wait around. I'm really surprised you got out of that with that good a profit. Richard, I'm sorry to wait that long. So, okay. Well, it's 33. Usually we go to about another 10 minutes, but Tim's not here, and unless you got some more questions, we'll hang around, forever if you got some more questions, or if Randy wants to say anything or Michael wants to say anything. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to highlight there's a lot of good strategies out there, but strategies that hold up and remain unchanged. I mean, we've made some very slight changes to maybe what strike price we're using, something like that, but we haven't adjusted the charts one bit. We haven't, changed any of the algorithms on how any of this stuff works. We haven't changed any rules on covered calls, any rules on anything. It's all of the same process, and we've remained profitable through the entire crisis, the entire crash, the entire climb back up, the entire choppiness, all the crazy stuff that's happened, and we've remained profitable. And I think that speaks volumes to the charts. That's not on us. We're just looking at these charts to trade. So that they still hold up when everything is literally different than it ever has been in the stock market ever, I think is a really cool thing.
Well, yeah, and you know this. You've seen it, Mike, and I know Randy sees it too. We have people that are still coming back on a daily basis and doing this stuff. That's been doing it for 10 or 12 years. Some of them up to 20. and they still come back because they're making money. And
that's
we're always improving things and doing things improved. Randy just doesn't sit around doing the same manual that was produced 20 years ago. Micah doesn't sit around and do the exact same things. We've been doing these micro moment trades for about 3 years, but only as a subscription service for the last 47 weeks or whatever it is. And even though Micah looks kind of young, he's been with us a long time. He just won't get old. And but see what happens in life. Look at Randy. Randy's just the complete opposite. You know?
I feel like if Randy and I sit in the same spot, we're like two versions of the same person.
That's right. There
what do
you
you
go.
think?
Yeah, look just like each other. Yeah, you just got you don't have a gray beard.
There we go. That was me 50 years ago, right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, would you blow up another comment by Richard there? Richard, after hours, 15 minutes trading took QQQs down and call options underpriced, therefore up at open. I'm not sure what he's saying. What?
QQQs down and call options underpriced, therefore open up at. Yeah, that's assuming it's going to bounce, Richard. I mean, which is very true. Like, it was a profitable trade. It worked. But that's just why it's on the speculation side of things, because it could have continued. Like, yes, the calls are cheap. But if you are working into the mindset where you're buying things at a discount, a lot of people buy stocks because they view it as a tangible product, which it is, right? It's a gray area, but they view it as buying it on sale. And that causes a lot of the bounces. That's a big old conversation. I guess we should get into that.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Hey, Marcus, put up Deshaun there. He just popped in, and let's take a look at his comment.
No, you can the micro moment class, the seminar. You don't have to attend that. We have most of the people that we have in there have started, but we've only had one seminar, right? So all of the successful traders from the seminar are still with us, and obviously it helped them. We've actually had a couple people that were at the seminar that graduated, that got so good at it that they actually stopped paying for the subscription and they're just doing it on their own now.
Yeah, and that's really the long term desire. So
yeah, exactly. So you don't have to, but it helps.
Okay, so Deshaun says here, big time news, Peck, and then now Peck just popped up here. If you want to get Randy's email alerts via text, you can set up a rule to forward his emails to your phone. For me, the email address is blah 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 blah. Yeah, and that's absolutely possible too.
Cool.
Yeah, so I get all of my emails are forwarded to my phone. So I don't have to go to my computer. They just pop up, and I get a little a ding, a notice that an email just arrived. So it's like getting a text alert. It's just you look at the email that just got sent, and it comes in my phone just the same time that it comes onto my computer. So
yeah. Let me say this about Deshaun, and I'm not sure, what big time news Peck. Peck's already said what it was, but anyhow, Deshaun hadn't been doing this very long, and he was probably one of the most reluctant people to. I've known him for a long time, and he was one of the most reluctant people to get involved in this, and he just is doing fantastic. I mean, just rolling money, all over the place, and so. Now there's one here from Randy's service. It's called put that. Why don't you read that one, Randy? Or we already talked about it.
The when I talk about momentum trading, that's like micro moment trading is momentum trading that takes like a minute.
Yeah.
When I use the advanced charting coaching service that's on Monday mornings, that is momentum trading based off of a 1-day chart, and so the trade lasts. It could last just a couple hours, but it's usually a day or two to continue the momentum going up. So they're kind of two versions. The micro moment that Micah does is like on steroids, and my momentum trading is a slower pace one.
Okay, I'm going to get to Lee. Lee, how long are most people staying with the subscriptions to the micro moment subscription before they are off on their own? Well, right now, It's just just what I say, 47 weeks. The vast majority of them still there because you learn something every time. They can do it on their own. They're doing it on their own. We're getting their reports on a moment by moment basis during the morning session and the afternoon session, I guess. But they're learning so much more all the time because we change things and improve things, and the technique kind of continuously evolves. Now, the vast majority of people stick with it because they like that, and they're making tons of money, and they just like to do it.
And it keeps you updated on the changes. If something like this happens, maybe you need a little bit of guidance. You need a sounding board, and then people get good at it, and the monthly subscription becomes such a small thing. We had a client that she did really well, ended up blowing her account because she wasn't following the rules. It was back down to 500. She took that $500 account to 5,000 in 3 to 4 months ish. And then recently she had a $12,000 day from, essentially a $500 account start. So when you have a $12,000 day and it's $495 for the month, they just figure why not stay, and just keep on the right track, keep solid. It just becomes a very small.
And you have instant access during those sessions to Micah and myself and Tim. And so you can, it's like you're not having to send an email and get an answer. You can just get everything done right there. Deshaun just brought me back to reality here about Peck. I forgot Peck is our newsman, right?
Yes.
Peck, well, because that's what he was told. Peck. Deshaun said Peck, big time news Peck. That's what we call him. It's sort of a nickname, and he reminded me again. That's Peck's nickname. Peck, big time news. He keeps us abreast of all the news that's going on in the world during the sessions. So besides that, he's one heck of a trader. Tremendous amount there. So. Okay, we have some more questions. We got about 4 minutes here. If we don't. Okay, you guys got anything you want to say?
Stay safe trading out there, guys. It's been pretty crazy. Just be cautious about your trades.
This market, most of this week, it's just been, it turns like it's head jerks. It's going one way and then quickly reverses and then going the other and quickly with it looks like no rhyme or reason, but it's because some kind of news comes across somewhere that something's going on, and the big traders with all the computers that are up to the second on everything, they're just shifting the market back and forth. So you got to be on your toes, and that's why the micro moment trading is such a good thing, because you're in and out in a few seconds, and it doesn't matter if somebody sends a tweet out 5 minutes from now, it's not changing what you're doing.
And we still see that same thing even on our scale. So like that shows you how bad it is to see the same things as you do on a daily frame as you do when your trades are 15 seconds long, 3 minutes, 3 minute scope that you're looking at, when that's the same level of craziness, it's intense.
Yeah. Micah, why don't you take that question from Lee regarding pattern day trading?
Yep. How do you get around the pattern day trader rules that small of an account? So there's two types of account. There's margin and cash. PDT, which if you don't know is it limits you to 3 day trades per 5 day rolling period. So you can make all 30 of those trades on the same day or spread them out, but every 5 days you only get 3 day trades, which is in and out in the same day. And that's options, futures, anything. So the two ways to get around PDT is either have a margin account over $25,000. As soon as you're over 25K, it takes that off. Otherwise, you can switch your account to cash. Now, a cash account, it's free to switch. It's just like takes a day, super easy. And a cash account lets you trade whatever you have in your account. So let's say you don't have 25, you only have 10. You could trade that $10,000 all at once, or you could trade $10,000 lots, right? But then once you're through that, that's it for the day. And then on options, and you have to wait for the next day. If you're trading stocks, you have to wait an additional day on a cash account. So that's why people have margin. But if you're under 25, just switch to cash and you'll be fine. There's no limit on trades.
Yeah. We have an example on that. If you only had $2,000 in the account, It's in, and this is an example. It's in that news I send out every day on the micro moment thing. 2000, if you only get 6% per week, 6% per week in 24 months, that account's going to grow to over $800,000. 2000, you're never going to put another dollar into it. So you could have an account you could trade every day. If it's a cash account, like Michael was saying, and you talk about a fantastic opportunity. And think about it. Take somebody young like Micah, just send them to college and waste all that damn money. Give them $2,000, make them virtual trade till they're an expert, and then in 2 years they can send you to college. So waste their money. But and Deshaun Lee asked, does this depend on your broker? And he says, no, it's a regulation rule. Okay.
Yeah, it's by the big dogs, so you can't get around it anywhere.
Yeah.
But you can have a cash account in any platform. So
you see, that's the best thing. I mean, it doesn't have to, it can be almost any amount of money. It doesn't have to be 10,000. It have to be 20,000. It can be 2,000.
It can be 500.
Yeah, it can be 500. Yeah.
Apparently, she didn't add any money to her account.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You talk about Martha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Martha, we call her 10-cent Martha, or 10. She has 10-cent key. She'll do multiple transactions during that 1 hour. Sometimes she'll make $1. She'll do 10 10-cent transactions. That's why we call her 10-cent key. But it's just amazing, the people and being on there. People really like to be there with all those other people. They they get back and forth and they really learn a lot. Well, our time, guys, is we're 1 minute over. Pretty soon, Mark is going to start screaming at me and doing all kinds of terrible things. Marcus, thanks for being here today and running this thing. Marcus is our engineer, been our engineer for 15, 16, 17 years. And he gets when I go over, he gets violent. So thanks to everybody being here. And
since Marcus is the engineer, does he have one of those, hats with the blue and white stripes on them? And then he has a train whistle in his office. Is that what he does?
That's what he does. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everybody. Thank you very much. I thank Micah and Randy and the team for his short appearance. And we will be here next Thursday, 10 a.m. Central Time. And okay. Thanks everybody. We'll see you later.
Hope y'all have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe.
Yep.
Okay.
Goodbye.